When it comes to food cravings, a lot of people ask me, how do I avoid these? What do I do? Now, my best way to explain this is it's not about avoiding the food cravings, but first understanding what is happening and why the craving is there. Generally, a lot of meal plans, a lot of diets, a lot of routines will try and account for allowing those things that you crave in there. They're calculated, they're based on being able to figure out what you can do to implement these things. But the trick is when we're craving something, sometimes it's not sticking to a plan, or sometimes it's a matter of an instant feeling where you want something and you have not accounted for it yet. And what I ask people to do, I ask them to stop for a moment and ask themselves a few questions. Are you bored, tired? Are you actually hungry? Are you frustrated, angry, or avoiding something? Now, generally, when people are craving something, we're looking at things that create what we call a sympathetic response, something that creates that urge or that feeling to create a little bit of instant gratification. And they're generally something sweeter, something on the alcoholic base, something that is more carb based. You very rarely see someone going like, I am craving a steak, unless they're absolutely hungry. Now, when it comes to these things, ask those questions. Are you bored? If you're bored, then you're trying to avoid the fact that you are bored by filling it with food. And you could here just go and do a little task. So when people are bored, I say like, pick up a book, read a page, or go do a little task that needs to be done around the house, or pick up a hobby, or play a game, or do something to get you stimulated. And if the craving then goes away, well, you weren't actually hungry. Then, are you tired? A lot of the time, and I've been a culprit of this, I'm out watching a movie and it's 9 o'clock, the last session in the cinema, and I'm starting to doze off. And it's like, oh, let me just have some more of those chocolate or popcorn, or let me have a bit of that Coke, Slurpee or whatnot to try and keep me up. But the reality is I just want to sleep, so go to sleep. So I have sacrificed that. I'm like, well, if I fall asleep, I'll fall asleep. I'll watch it next time. So if you catch yourself out trying to stay awake, trying to stay alert in a moment where it's not necessary to, go to sleep. Turn the TV off, go to sleep. The movie, the Netflix series will last. You can replay it later. You can watch it tomorrow. It's not going to hurt. So go to sleep. Then I always ask people, are you avoiding something or are you angry? So now when it comes to anger, training is the best outlet here. People are angry and then they start going and then they like sabotage, fuck it, I'm going to just go out and eat. I'm going to go do this. It's like, hold on. If you're angry, first go act on the anger. Training is the best outlet for that. And go and do a fight session. Go and do a heavy lifting session. Go and do something where you can exert, where you can yell, scream. And if that's what you need to do, let it out, deal with the issue, and then come back and see what you actually feel like. If you're avoiding something, so say for example, it's a hard conversation with a spouse or a partner, it's something you need to do, and you're like, oh, it could be something as simple, I need to wash the dishes, can't be bothered, oh, let me just sit on the couch and eat some chocolate. It's like, well, okay, identify, am I avoiding something? Is that why I feel like something to eat? And it's like, okay, cool. Then you can make a choice. You can make active decisions here if you are aware of what is happening. Now, you can still choose to eat the crap or eat the thing that's not being accounted for in your meal plan. But you've made a decision, an active decision. It's not just this urge that's come upon you and you've just acted wildly upon it. So there are ways to identify how you're feeling and then what it is and why you're feeling that way, and then take an action. And the action you choose after that is up to you. Now, whether, again, it's you chose to eat whatever it is that wasn't accounted for, that is fine. That's a choice. But at least you are aware of the choice and you'll find a pattern. You will find that you will more than likely have the same consistent pattern. So I know for me, it's every time I'm tired, I want to eat something sweet. It's like just to keep me awake. It's like, well, maybe you just need to freaking rest and go to sleep. So then you can always observe this pattern and change the routine, change the pattern. Maybe I need to get better sleep. Maybe my day is too long. Maybe I need some rest. So then you can identify what's happening and create some change. Now, the last one I always say is, are you hungry? You might be hungry. So first go eat the meal that you've accounted for, or eat a proper meal, eat something nutritious. And after that, if you still feel the urge for this thing, ask those questions again. Perhaps you're avoiding something, perhaps you're frustrated, and then deal with it. And if not, enjoy it. Sometimes it's a matter of finding true enjoyment in an action that is being done out of a decision. When it comes to craving, sometimes it's not It's an urge. It's not a decision that you said, hey, I want to go out and eat this. It's, oh, you know what? Open the fridge. Shit, I feel like this. Oh, yeah, I'm going to eat that. If you go and actively make a decision, first of all, you're more aware of how much you consume or what you're consuming rather than just scoffing it all down. Second, you get to enjoy the food. You get to enjoy the meal without this guilt. And there should be no guilt around food. There is no good or bad food. Food is fuel, food can be enjoyment, food can be all of these things. But it's when we become numb to what's going on around us and we do things mindlessly, it becomes a problem. So, my advice, if you are craving things, ask yourself, are you bored, tired? Are you angry, avoiding something, or are you actually hungry? And then act on those. Identify a problem, act on it, and then make a conscious choice whether or not you want the thing. And when you do have the stuff, enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it is. Enjoy a moment, enjoy the time. And if you're trying to make change and adhere to a plan and that's not part of the journey, well, then accept that that's not part of the journey and it will not get you where you want to be. So be aware of the actions you take, and food is not a bad thing. Enjoy it, but be aware of what you are doing. Make an honest decision.